welcome back to the Metaphysical Tea. I'm Tess.
I'm Bree.
And this is Aliyah.
Hi.
She manages our coffee stand. We finally started recruiting from over there. But this is cool because she has a really cool chart that's different from a lot of what we've done already. So I know we've talked about projectors before, and I'll tell you what that means in a second, but there's different types of projectors. So it depends on what their authority is, and very few of them have your authority. Your authority is self-projected. So what that means is you're non-emotional. You don't have your own emotions, really. You absorb and amplify other people's emotions. So you feel probably deeper and probably feel emotions really strong, but they're not really yours. You can, and if you understand that, you can release them. Okay, good. You're like, I feel this, but
Really?
The cool thing about, remember how I said you had a lot of white in your chart, like open spaces? The cool thing about it is you reflect back to the world how they're acting and how they're doing, and your group. So to your family, to the team that you lead, to your friend group, like you reflect back how everyone's doing. And so the way you're feeling emotionally is a direct consequence of your environment. Okay. So if you're feeling really good, you're probably surrounded by some really great people, and they can see back like, oh, we're doing good.
That does make sense.
Yeah. I just think that's really cool for non-emotionals to understand that. Like you're reflecting back what people are feeling. So
I definitely feel like I do
Yeah.
that.
Well, and actually now that I say that out loud, looking back at how I talked about how when Derek and I realized this, that I was the emotional and he was the non-emotional, he really was reflecting back my brattiness on the inside that wasn't like amplified. And I would think he was being the biggest brat, but it was just myself being mirrored back to me. Great.
So funny.
Okay, so then after so half the world is emotional. So you already are the other half. Then 70% of the world has sacral or gut instinct. You don't have that either. So if someone tells you, listen to your gut, does that even resonate with you? Yeah, because you don't have that. Like, it's not filled in. You could probably tap in and try and, like, see, like, what's in there, because it's your desires. So you could find desire, but you're going to actually get answers in a different way. So then usually if someone doesn't have that, the next one that we go to is splenic, which is, like, a little voice in your head. But you don't have that either.
I don't have a voice.
No. I mean, and you might feel what I'm going to tell you have in a different way. It could feel like a voice. Yeah. But it's better for you for the voice to be outside of your body, not inside. Okay. And I'll tell you in a second. Because the next one is ego and then heart center. And you don't have that one either.
What do I have?
That's why you're so rare. Because as we go through all of this, like so few people don't have, like I said, 50% are going to have that, 70% are going to have that. I don't know the exact percentage. I know only 30% have that one, but that one's even more rare. Wow. So
that's special.
You are special. Yes. So what it is it's called self-projected, and it means your G center is your identity center. So it's all about how you identify and how you feel, like, what is you? When I say, like, I mean, you talked about wanting to buy the stand if we ever sell it. So, like, do you identify as an entrepreneur? Probably, or you wouldn't have that kind of energy, right? Yeah. So when you hear yourself say something out loud, you sound it off someone else. So if you tell Bree, like, I think I want to buy the stand, hearing your own voice say it, you don't need her to talk back. Yeah. You need someone to just listen and let you talk, because a sounding board lets you listen to what you just said, and then you go, is that me? Do I feel like that, or does that not feel like who I am? Yeah. And then hearing it out loud is what lets you get clear on what your soul's trying to tell you.
That makes sense.
So when you sit alone and try and contemplate it by yourself, that's why I said you might have a little voice.
You need to, like, talk to someone.
Yeah. Because if you sit by yourself, it's that little voice, and it's like, it doesn't really get you there. Well, because you don't have consistent access to it. Yeah. So it's hard for you to trust it because it's not always accurate. Yeah. But how you feel when you say something and you're like, yeah, that's me. That is a clear, absolute, like, that's how you make decisions. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
I love that. I love when people can feel that they're doing that, their authority.
I always talk to people when I have any issues, so I feel like I can't figure it out.
That's good.
No, yeah. I think the most important, I hate when I do that. When you talk it out loud, just make sure that the people you're telling understand, I'm not looking for you to give me a solution.
Yes.
I'm really not even looking for feedback. I just need to talk this out loud.
Yes.
Because other
a lot of
stuff,
people don't understand that. They just try to give you solutions.
Well, especially men, right?
Yeah.
Because men are like, they're fixers. So we say we have a problem, and then we get annoyed when they start giving us solutions. And it's because, you just need a sounding board.
Yeah.
So any friend of yours that like just likes to listen is a great friend for you for decision making.
I love that.
Okay, so you're a projector. So projectors are 20% of the world. But you're a rare projector because you have that kind of authority. The difference between, 70% of the world has this, making them a generator, which means they create their own energy. You don't create your own energy. Okay. You need a lot of rest. So if you're like Bria's this, and I used to think she was so lazy because I was like,
used to sleep in so much. I don't know how I became a morning person at the coffee stand because I used to sleep until like noon.
Yes. And it's very okay for you to do that. And it's okay for you to change it, but you probably have to go to bed earlier, or you probably just need naps. Yes. I know, because you are kind of a night owl too. Yeah. So never judge yourself for needing rest, because projectors aren't meant to do like generators. If we're lit up, we can just go. Like me and Brie could work 12, 14 hours a day if we're lit up and not be exhausted. More energy. Yeah.
It doesn't, we've talked about this before, but it doesn't mean we're doing anything more than you. Yeah. And oftentimes we're doing it at like the cost of burnout.
Yeah. Yes.
And then we're just spinning our wheels. So you actually have the ability to know, like,
and
I need time.
Rest.
I need space. Like, I can't do XYZ.
I definitely do that. I stayed home last night. My friends were all hanging out. And I was like, I'm tired.
Good. No, that's good for you, because projectors really need that. And you guys are here to do things smarter, not harder. Yeah. So you're actually more, and actually this is a huge part of your top 4 gifts that I'll get to, but you're actually here to show us how to do it easier, how to use our time better. Mm-hmm. So I could be going, well, I could just work 12 hours. I don't understand. Why can't you work 12 hours? But you're like, I did what you did in 3 hours. And now I'm done and I need to sleep. But I found a different way to do it that was easier. Yeah. So it's totally in line for you. So the biggest thing I always tell projectors is never think that you're lazy. You just need more rest. Yeah. And the other thing for you that says that is the ego center, or your little heart center right here. Yours is wide open. Bria also has this too. So when it's open and white, that's one thing. But see how this is open and white, but it still has like a little purple dot? Yeah. This is 100% open. Yeah. That's like your career path or your financial like path. Mm-hmm. And when it's open like that, it's like, follow your heart. Oh. Whatever feels good, abundance is going to follow.
But I have to talk to someone.
Yes. Because when you're making decisions, you need your sounding board. Oh. But there's no, like for me, my reputation is super important in mine. So as long as, like, I feel like my reputation is good, then I feel like I'm on track. Yeah. Do you remember what yours is? I think yours is reputation, too.
I don't remember.
I feel a little bit of reputation maybe from the Leo.
Well, and everyone can feel all of these, because it's reputation, impact, feeling like we did it ourselves, and then the need for a lot of money. I have all of those. I want all of those, right? I want to feel like I did it myself. I want to make good money. I want to impact people, and it matters to what my reputation is. Yeah. Yours just isn't super important for you in this lifetime. It might matter to you. It's just not going to tell you whether or not you're on or off track. Yeah. All that tells you that is if you feel like you're being who you believe you are. Okay. Your identity is really everything for you. Yeah. Which, that's really cool, because we always talk about how she's like the fashionista, and they're like, she always has like the cutest like next fashion, or like, and stuff that I wouldn't even know was like, Bria can be like that too, where I'm just like, I wouldn't even think to put those two things together, and you look so dang cute.
It's a blessing and a curse.
You have a shopping problem?
It's a shopping problem.
That's so funny. But when you have your identity filled, then you have a very strong sense of who you are, and not only is that true for you, but also it's your authority, so it's everything for you.
That is everything.
Yeah. And then, okay, so there's something called channels, and what it is when 2 gifts or gates connect, so those little blue dots I was talking about. So when 2 of them connect and make a channel, it's like very prominent in your chart. When you have less than 3, I don't know if you believe in past lives or not, but if you do, this is like, you better figure this out in this lifetime. Okay. This is a big deal. You have 1. Okay. Okay, so that's a big deal. Okay. Yours is alpha female. So it is, your whole chart is you are here to lead people.
Yeah.
And you have, the alpha female is like, that energy is, do you feel like you do that already?
Yeah.
I feel like you are like the leader of your friend group. You're the leader in your job.
Yeah.
Like, are you the leader in your family, kind of? Not yet.
They're all a lot older than me, so I've never really felt like a leader with them.
I think you'll get there, though.
Yeah.
Like, when you get married and have kids and have your house, like, I bet you end up hosting and stuff.
Yeah. I would love that.
Yeah, because you're, like, supposed to be the leader of a group, of an organization, of your family.
I definitely feel that at work.
Yeah.
Not to jump ahead, but I don't want to forget it, and I love when something in astrology ties to human design, but you have your Black Moon Lilith, which is, you know, Lilith was the first buck against the system. So just think of that, how you buck against the system. But it's in Capricorn, which is leadership.
Okay. Yes.
So, and it's part of your rising, so it's part of, like, how you're showing up your identity to other people. So you are leadership energy, and like that energy of like, I'm not here to please. I'm not here to please people.
Yes.
And you could have people who see that and really feel so freaking threatened by that. But it's like a quiet storm.
Yeah.
Like, you're solid. And that can really trigger people.
Yeah.
My husband has this. And it doesn't flex loud.
Yeah.
It is a quiet strength that people see in you. And sometimes they want to poke the bear. So just remember that when people are trying to poke that bear, that like they're just trying to see like, what are you made of? Because they can feel it.
But we know what you're made of, and you better watch out.
I don't know if you want to do that.
I love it.
Now, this is what's so funny to me. So, backstory, Aliyah was working at the stand even when we had our first manager at the stand when we bought it. And then she was Gracie the next one after her? Okay, so then Gracie had it, and then who took it after that?
Aliyah.
There was like, it's like she was there the whole time, but we brought in an outside manager when one of our like long-term managers left. And then we brought in someone. Oh, and then we had Emma do it. Mm-hmm. And I just never really, I didn't really think you would be interested. Yeah. Because she was so nice. And so I just thought she was so like, I thought she would be scared to step on people's toes. Which this is how, like, don't judge a book by its cover, right? Because I knew her, but I didn't get to work with her and interact with her.
You didn't have her human design.
I didn't know human design well enough yet to understand. She just gave me her numbers for the first time ever yesterday. Yeah. So I've been trying to do her chart forever. So I didn't know about her. So then we were going to hire again, and I was like, should we offer it to Aliyah? Because she's been here. We could at least see... Like, at least give her the chance to turn it down. And when she said she wanted it, I was like, she does? Like, I can't believe that. And then she showed up, and she was like, she didn't care if people's feelings... Not that she's hurting feelings on purpose, but when you're in management, you have to be okay with... You're not going to be able to please everyone.
But there's definitely a way to do it without being rude.
Absolutely. Because you've been through those managers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I think if you had given me your chart numbers 5 years ago, I would have told you first. You want to do it?
Put me in, coach.
Right? So I just think that's so cool, like being able to see it from an outside. Just because your main thing is being an alpha female, it doesn't mean that she has like a harsh personality or like, I don't know. I always think alpha, like it shows up, like it's super strong and intimidating, but you're not that. Yeah. You're super loving and fun, and like you can tell everyone likes working with you. And you try to make everyone happy, but everyone knows not to push too hard. Yeah.
I mean, that's basically an alpha in a wolf pack leads from the back.
I love that.
You're encouraging people to push it forward.
I love that. Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, so then your number one gift, which this also makes so much sense for you. So there is, you know how in astrology there's your like big three? Yeah. But then there's all these other things. There's your Venus, there's your Mars, your Mercury, and all those things matter. But your big three is what everyone really focuses on. So there's like a big four in astrology. It's like your four most important gates that like show your like most important gifts to share. But there's one that's like the sun sign, that's like being a Leo. Yeah. And for you, your gift in human design for that is being an influencer. Yeah, you knew that?
That's so cool.
I know.
It all ties together. That's crazy.
I know. It seriously does. And so what you need to know about human design is it's a blueprint for who you're here to be. It's like, if you believe that you've had multiple lives, then you might believe that you, like, planned this before you came here, and you came here to learn a specific thing, and you came here to evolve your soul in a certain way, and all these things were lined up so you could do that. And so all the things that you have available to you are meant to be shared so you can be that person. And when you share them, you reap the benefit. So not only do you have one of the entrepreneur gates filled in, you also have the influencer gate. So we were just talking about, I'm like, gosh, owning the coffee stand or being an influencer online or but it's weird to me that you don't do social media for the stand because that's so in line with who you are.
It's because I'm not good at TikTok.
No, that's a story you're telling yourself. Great, now she's in trouble. Just kidding.
I'm influencing myself tonight.
I'm influencing myself.
It's hard. I feel like I like missed TikTok just a little bit. Like it was like a little bit younger age than me.
What about Reels?
I just gotta try it. Editing is where.
Yeah. Okay.
What about like Substack or Patreon? Like, there's so many other things than just like that. Like sharing, and also just like showing up in like full flex of your aesthetic. Mm-hmm. You're influencing people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I definitely already like to, like, if I find something good, I'll tell all my friends.
Yeah.
Gotta put everyone on.
Well, and that totally makes sense, but can you imagine if you did it on a big audience, what that could actually do for you financially even? Yeah. And it would feed your soul in some way. About. Yeah.
And she has Uranus.
I saw that.
Second house, which is a money house. House of possessions, so cool. Money.
And Uranus rules the internet.
So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I really like when you say something and then it pops out
in
the chart. That's, for me, I need things to connect. I need things to make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
And a fourth of this chart is made up by your astrology. The rest is the I Ching, the Tree of Life, and then the chakra system. So it's just like an in-depth, but it's so cool when you can read a natal chart and see it and go, wait, look at that. That's where it adds. Okay, so your number one gift is, so you have such cool stuff. Okay. So influencer is number one. Number two, whenever someone has gift 41, whether it's a top gift or not, it's the gift of creativity. And this can be in anything. But the most important thing for you to know, especially because it's your number two top one, is you should be bringing whatever creativity you like, whether it's, what do you do that's creative that you like?
I like to craft.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, like collages, or I've been doing like pottery and
I love that.
I love the pottery.
So share that in every circle of your life.
Okay.
So you know how we show up in different groups as like, here I'm the serious one, in this group I'm the funny one, in this group I'm the one who keeps everyone together.
We did a little like night where we did collages or what are they called? Vision boards.
Why are we not invited in?
Yeah. That's so cute.
It was so fun.
No, that is so fun.
Yeah.
And it's, you let it.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we're saying that we wear a different persona in every group that we're in, it's so important that you always bring your creative piece, because that's how people will connect with you. So if in a certain group, like even being the boss, like having to be the boss in a certain group, also be the creative one. Yeah. So like if you give them gifts or whatever, I would do something that you made because you like doing that. And people will feel like true authenticity from you whenever you're being creative. It's a super special gift. In fact, when I learned human design, there was like 6 gifts that we like went super deep on because they were so special, and that was one of them.
Something else I really like is thrifting.
Heck yeah.
Like decor stuff for my house.
Oh, you guys would love each other. Bree decorates everything so freaking cute, and she's always like, I thrifted it.
Because you find stuff that you're not going to find other places.
Amen.
Yeah. And I'm always like, how did you do that? Where did you find that? She's like, thrifted it. I'm like, I go into a store and I'm like, I don't see anything. Like, I just see garbage. And then you guys go in and find like the gems, and I'm like,
it's like going back in time. Yeah, we're like time traveling.
I just got this really cool, like, hand-painted martini, like, painting. It was so cool.
I love that.
Yes.
You're so in line with your chart, and you're only 25, so this is huge for you. This really says that you're on, like, you're in alignment. Because a lot of times when I read charts for people your age, they're like, that doesn't make sense, or I don't feel that yet.
I feel all of it.
No, you really do, and that really says that you're in alignment with who you are. Yeah. Okay, so your third gift is a natural ability to nurture and care. So you understand what other people need, and you're good at taking care of them.
I think that's true.
Yeah, I do too. And then the last one of your top 4, I don't think I've ever seen this in anyone's top 4, but it's making the most of life. And it's really cool because what it is it sits in your splenic center, and everything in the splenic center is either fear or it's seeing the future in a place. Mm-hmm. So you understand that time is limited, that we only get so much time here. We all understand this, but you understand it on a different level. Mm-hmm. And because of that, if you're using it in a negative way, you're scared of running out of time. If you're using it in a positive way, you're making the most out of life. You're excited. You're showing other people how to do it. Mm-hmm. You're saying, like, we only live once, even if we live more times, but we're only going to get this one time, so.
I'm definitely a YOLO girl.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. And I do too. But the other thing that's cool about this is you being a projector. Projectors are born with a very specific knowing of something. Like, usually it's something that they'll say as like little kids, and their parents will go, "What? You couldn't know that?" And then you're like, "Oh, maybe I don't know it." But you were remembering something.
I've heard of that.
Do you know what do you know what yours is? Like, is there something that you've, like, always known that your mom's like, I don't know how you knew that?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's okay.
But I've heard of that happening to children. Yeah.
Well, and what I think yours might be is you see how time can be used more efficiently, because that's off your gift 28. So because you see that time is limited and that we need to enjoy life, you're like, how do we do this fast?
Yeah.
We have to do it good, but how do we do it fast?
Yeah.
And then move on.
Yeah. I definitely do that at work.
Yeah, and I bet you help other people do it. And when
if I find an easier way to do it, I'm like, please do it this way.
Please start doing it this way. Yeah.
It's way easier.
Mm-hmm. Which is also, you're on a second house. Makes sense for that, because it's like doing things differently and outside of the norm. The other reason this stands so good for you is your environment is selective caves. So Bria has this one too. How weird.
Same person.
Right? I mean, you guys have a lot of differences too, but that's funny that you guys have some of the main. So selective caves people, her daughter has this too. They're most comfortable in a space where there's one way in and one way out, and where they have control of who comes in and out of it.
Oh, okay.
And so it makes sense for the stand, because there's one way in, one way out, and you control who works there.
Yeah, I
do.
So that's space. Totally in line. Yeah.
I like it.
That's
I like that
crazy.
too. I know.
But that's also funny, because before I worked at Papa Murphy's for like 4 years, and there was only one way in and out.
Oh, there was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, yeah. And even like, you probably feel better in like I don't know, in a house that, like, obviously you want to have a back door and stuff, but like just places where you can control everything. Like, you probably don't really love going to like a stranger's party or something where you have no control over what's going to happen there, or like what the exits are.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I'm looking for the exit.
Yeah. I'm looking for the exit. Okay, you're also single definition. So single definition means that everything that is connected, you only have 2, so you have to be single definition. But it means you process information quickly. You process life quickly. People that have this are actually really good on their own. They never really feel like they're missing, like, it's not like they're missing a piece of themselves if they don't have someone else. Yeah. You feel pretty, like, whole on your own. And everyone is whole on their own, but people who have a split, they usually feel more complete when they have someone that fills the split. Also, you're a 3-5. So this is, the 3 is the experimenter. So it's how you feel. So the 3 can feel like, why can't I figure it out? Like, I keep trying and trial error. Like, why? Like, you always kind of feel like you're not totally getting it, or you're not totally getting there, because you're just like trying and then erroring and then trying again. But nobody else sees it. Yeah. Everyone else is watching you and kind of like living vicariously through you. Because the 5 is the, it's like the movie star number. Like, people are watching you. They want to know what you're doing. But it's also the, like, helper, the hero. So it's the person, she has a 5 for her first number. So people see that you can help them and they are attracted to you.
Yeah.
And so you will attract a lot of, I would say, broken birds. So you have to be careful when you have a 5. Just because you can help, because you can, doesn't mean you have to. So be careful that you don't put all your energy into people that you don't want to be pouring energy into.
That makes sense a lot.
Yeah. I think especially when you're young and especially when the 5 is your second number.
I think people can take advantage of your time. And
absolutely.
And all that too.
Yes. Yes, you've been through it?
Yeah. How with you? Just with friends and like, just life.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So you have, everyone has 2 emotions that tell them like if they're on track or off track. When you feel successful, that's you like understanding like I'm on track. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. When you feel bitter, that's like you're a little off track. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And then your nervous system or your digestion is buzzing. Excuse me, too many bubbles. Which means it's like totally right for you to like eat in your car, eat while you're driving, be in a restaurant, be in a group of people, but like doing stuff while you're eating.
Yeah.
Because you do have a slower digestive system.
I eat really slow.
Great.
Really slow.
Yeah. Do you eat a lot of times a day? No. Yeah, you're not supposed to. So you don't want to overeat because it takes a really long time for your food to get through your system.
I can feel it. I think that's why I eat so slow. It like bloat my stomach.
Yeah. And it takes a while to get all the way through.
Yeah.
So you're already eating the way that you're supposed to. That's awesome.
It happens at work. Claire's like, do you want me to throw away this burrito? I'm like, no, I'm still working on that.
I'll get to it eventually.
I'm saving it for later.
I don't care if it's cold.
Yes.
I think that is like the main stuff in your human design. Do you have any questions?
No, it all makes sense. That's just so cool.
It is so cool. I know.
That's a testament to how, conscious you are of yourself.
That makes me feel like I'm on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is cool too.
Yeah, we can talk about that too. You had cool stuff about her Chiron. Tell her.
Well, your Chiron, which
Chiron?
is your core wound in this lifetime. So everyone has it. Look up Chiron.
Okay.
Simple Google search or put it into Chat GPT. Yours is and Tess has, what is your Chiron that you always send people to?
I love rosemary and tea.
Yeah, rosemary and tea.
They have the best. So it has so many ads that it can be a little overwhelming. But their Chiron description, I'll send you yours. Okay. It's so good. And what I love about it, because what I always say that I can't stand in the spiritual industry is people will tell people what's wrong with them and not tell them how to fix it.
Yeah.
And we're always big on, let me tell you what your wound is, but let me show you how you heal that. But she explains it so well in the tea and rosemary that it's like...
I would definitely want to read that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
But your core wound is around belief and also connection to source and the unseen. And so some of the things that can come up with that just on an intuitive level is like looking at people who believe in life happening for them without needing proof. Like that can feel like, how come they have this connection? How do I lean in more? Or when, like, another thing we looked up is like, if you believe in past lives, core wounds from past lives of you owning the sacred knowledge, specifically like feminine wisdom, being potentially persecuted for that in past lives.
Oh.
I thought you were burned at the stake.
Oh, maybe.
It's just it could be, right? And if that doesn't resonate with you, throw it out. And then think of, when we say past lives, think of early childhood. So could even go back to believing in Santa. Okay. And then feeling that wound of like, how could people freaking lie to me? It's not real. Like, whatever the core wound is.
I found Santa's wrapping paper.
How dare? How dare?
How dare?
I said, does Santa wrap his gifts here?
You can't get past, your sun is in the 8th house of Scorpio, so very few things can get past you on a psychic, intuitive level.
Yeah.
You also have Pluto in your 12th house with your core wound there. So here's what I would say about that. your internal experience, very few people can have any understanding. And that can feel sometimes lonely, but what I would just have you understand is that it's your journey, and your journey, like, not everyone can be a part of everything that we are interconnected with.
Yeah.
And so when things are happening for you, you're getting like a download, or you're having this transformation around your connection to the unseen. It's such a sacred thing, and it's okay that not everybody gets a glimpse of what's going on inside Aliyah on a very existential level.
Yeah.
It's profound and deep, and it doesn't always make sense, but you're here for a very spiritual experience.
I think it kind of does make sense. I kind of feel that I'm kind of on a little bit of a different path than people my age, so.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Very
I mean, you're
special.
so in line with who you are.
Yeah, that is, like, everything makes sense.
I know. I love that.
One time I did go to, like, a tarot reading, and I don't know what she was telling me. This was not right. I was like, I don't think that.
Yeah.
Wrong person.
No,
It's
good
good
for
that
you.
you're discerning.
Well, and that's because when you hear it out loud, you know immediately if it's who you are.
Yeah.
Because
That's
your
cool.
identity is how
And
your
it
soul talks
wasn't
to you.
me.
Yeah. No, that's so cool. And I think it's really important for people that this is such a good story for you to bring up, because I think it's so important for people to understand how their soul talks to them, so that when they're listening to, there's so many readers and people who just like learned what a card meant instead of understood how to actually connect with our guides and how to like actually like spiritually do the work rather than just read a story, because there's so much it can mean. And so when people don't know their authority and they don't understand how their soul's talking to them, it's hard for them to see what's not really theirs. And readers can very easily put a spell on you accidentally, right? They give you words that, which again is why we always say we don't tell you something negative without telling you how to fix it.
Yeah.
Because that's just a spell that's going to be hurtful to you if you take it on as your truth. But for you, you understand that if it's not your identity, it's not you. And that's so huge for you.
Yes.
I love that. I also love her moon with her Jupiter in her 6th house. Are you routine?
Yeah.
You are? Okay. So that brings, I mean, Jupiter's like your luck and your abundance and your emotions.
Weekends,
no. Yeah. But I think it helps regulate your emotions. It makes you feel emotionally safe. It also brings you like more abundance. You probably feel better at work. Yeah. So it's like helps you there. I love that. Yeah. And then and we talked about her North Node was in Cancer. So that means that you also, so you're a Leo in the 8th house, which means you're a Leo with a splash of Scorpio for your personality. And then your last life, you were an Aquarius. So you have a splash of Aquarius. That's why if you meet 10 Leos in the same room, you're all totally different, because we have all these other little pieces.
So different.
Yeah. People will always tell me, well, I don't believe in astrology, because I've met other Geminis and they don't act like me.
Do you remember Carissa? Like, because our birthdays were only one day apart, and she was just so much like more outgoing and loud.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm more laid back, and I was like, how are we both Leos? Like, it's got to be something more to this.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. But she's a Sag rising, and they're supposed to be really chatty and personal.
I just had a person tell me, because I'm a Sag, like dead look at me and just go, aren't Sagittarius supposed to be outgoing and fun? And I was like,
oh,
my bad. You know, my bad.
How dare they?
I hope I've never done that to someone. I'd like to think I haven't, but sometimes my mouth be running.
My mouth's gonna run after they say that.
Right? I know. I was like, they said what to you?
But you have all this quiet strength in your chart, especially with your sun in the 8th house. You have Saturn in the 5th, which is like you take relationships so freaking serious. So if somebody's not like all the way in it and they're not allowing themselves to be seen on a soul level, you're out. Yeah. Don't come with fakery.
No. And I just lied to you. Sorry. I said that your past life was Aquarius. It was Capricorn. And this is actually a huge lesson, so I'm glad I caught it. I know. I don't know why. I don't know why I did that, but this is huge for you, because when your Capricorn was your past life, so you're a Leo with a splash of Scorpio and a splash of Capricorn.
Okay.
But when Capricorn was your past life, it means you came into this life with all the positive and negative traits of Capricorn, and part of your lesson is to learn to lean into the positive traits of Cancer.
Okay.
So whenever I meet someone with this, they make work and making money and like very Capricorn things their whole world.
Yeah.
And they're way less attached to like family and like nurturing, which you have nurturing in there. But you are meant to see that there's more to life than work and money. That is one of your lessons. Okay. If that's helpful.
Yeah, it is helpful.
Do you have any questions about anything in your life that you want us to tear apart?
I don't really think so.
Did we get you good?
Which one? So I thought it was like your rising was the one that you projected. That's true. Okay.
So your Sagittarius rising.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So that's why I said you're supposed to be fun and outgoing because that lady said that to her.
That makes sense.
Sagittarius can also be intimidating. A Sagittarius can be like they say what they're gonna say and there's nothing like no one's gonna stop. That's one of my favorite things about Brie.
When I looked up the definition of Aliyah, I was like, oh, they're self-centered and all of this stuff, and I was like, I really don't think I'm that. Maybe I'm being self-centered right now. I'm thinking I'm not. I don't know.
No, I think that, and also every sign has negatives and positives. And a lot of times in our younger years, we show more of the negative traits naturally, just because we're not totally secure in ourselves, and we have, I
definitely feel like I've evolved.
Yeah, but then all the other stuff matters too, because you're a Sagittarius rising, but then your emotion is Gemini, which can be very like, gosh, that's an interesting placement.
My
actually.
mom's a Gemini.
Oh, that's true. That is true. So you might be more intellectual in your emotions than actual like feeling emotions.
Definitely. I don't cry very often. Yeah. So when I say non-emotional in this, it's like you feel deeply, but it doesn't mean that you're just detached from the actual emotion because you know it's not yours. Yeah. Not all non-emotionals understand that, and so it's hard for them. They just feel like they're on a roller coaster. Yes. But I think because you understand that, it makes it easier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I understand it all. It all makes sense.
I love it. What is her Mars in? Her Mars is in her
Cancer.
In her 8th house.
Your Mercury and your Mars are in Cancer, and they're both in. No, your Mars is in your 8th house, but like whenever I see that any kind of Scorpio Mars, even though it's Cancer, you're intuiting, so you can like read a room like no one's business. Yes. But you're also playing the long game.
That's why I'm quiet.
So you're not gonna be like, you're not always gonna be like, let's fight it out. You're gonna be like, ooh, we're playing the long game here. And that's a good thing because Mars is like how you assert yourself, how you go after things. So whatever you're trying to create, just you have the ability to like endure some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And that's cool.
Even just like not in a bad way, but at work, like I've stayed places for a long time, like.
Yeah,
my last job, I was there for 4 years, and I've been with you guys for like 5 years, and
Well, I was gonna say, even with me, she's good at like she's one of the best ones at communicating with me.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like she'll say what she needs to say, and she'll defend herself, but she'll still be like, "No, I get that." Like she can still see both sides, but still like she's not. Not that I always tell her she's wrong or bad or anything, but just if there's like a conflict, she's really good at like.
Yeah.
Well, this is what actually happened, but I get what you're saying, but I just want to make sure you hear the whole thing. And because she communicates so well, it's like, it usually diffuses everything really fast, because I'm just like, oh, got it, okay. Because, there's always like 7 different versions of what happened.
There is.
So, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And then her Venus is in Leo in her 8th house. What do you think about that? What do you say about that? Venus and Leo in 8th house.
Like I said, you're not here for anything that's mediocre.
Yeah. Love it.
Like, it needs to be deep or not at all.
I mean,
boom.
Friendships. I do feel like that's true because I have, cut off friendships that weren't serving me.
Heck yeah, girl. Cut off game strong.
Yes.
That Sag.
And I feel great without them.
That's your Sag rising. Oh my gosh.
I love you so much. Aliyah,
I know.
This was
this
so
was
much
really
fun.
good. Thank you for doing it with us. I was so excited when I pulled it up and it was like something different. And then we've done projectors, but it was cool to have someone that was the only other person I know that has your authority is Joni upstairs.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that's cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. If you would like to get your chart read for free, you can be a guest on our show. Also, we're probably going to start our astrology series soon, so stay tuned for that.
Bye, guys.